3 feet high boots with heels and like green hair and shit, and you're like, okay, he's just doing his thing, whatever he want to do. That's like kind of like what everybody else is doing, just not the same as you, but everybody is trying to be different. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people are so different nowadays, but everybody really the same, trying to be different. You know?
Yeah, it's like we in the same area, but we just wearing different stuff.
You know what I mean? Like, yo, you couldn't come out sounding like nobody back then. Like, if you came out sounding like somebody else, that's crazy. Like, people gonna be like, the fuck? I remember when Tupac died, right? And there was a dude that came out. He's from Miami. I think his name was Black Hayes.
You heard about him?
He sound just like Tupac. Like, literally. Like, I forgot though. He had one song that kind of started to bubble down here. And it was like, bruh, you sound like Tupac. Why would anybody want that? You know what I'm saying? No, you can't sound like Jay-Z or Nas. If you try to.
I think, what's his name? Gorilla Black. Sounds just like Biggie.
That was the point. That's even worse. It was the point, like Puffy signed him or some shit like that. Like, yo, why would you do that?
And he had some hits, but
he did. Off the strength of sounding like Biggie. Shine sound like Biggie. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's weird. That's weird to me. Why would you want to sound like another grown man? But hey, each his own.
But that's why, like, you know, with streaming and stuff like that nowadays, like you could go back. Like right now, like I'm in my mode where I pick one artist a day or whatever, and I just listen to all their albums. Like I'm listening to Busta Rhymes right now.
That's hard. He got some classics.
People don't realize Busta Rhymes. As a person from down here from Miami, I always looked at my favorite New York artists of all time. Always been Jay-Z, Nas, Busta Rhymes, DMX, Fat Joe, Big Pun. Wu-Tang, they in their own category, but for them 6 and 7s, because they had that New York sound, but they also came down south. You know what I'm saying? Like when Jay-Z did that UGK, like he don't realize like a whole generation like looked up to him because he did that. You know what I'm saying?
Embrace them boys,
you know, so with Busta Rhymes for what he did, having Mystical on the track and stuff like that. With Fat Joe, like I didn't even realize Fat Joe could have signed everybody from down here. Rick Ross, Big Bud,
at
like,
one point,
like at one point, like
when Terror Squad was popping, he could have had everybody.
Because I remember, I think my mom, she told me a story where she met Big Pun. I think they mom or something like that. I think they had family down here.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So like, I'm like, wow, like, and it makes sense. Like when he had the interview like a couple years ago, when he was talking about, man, I could have had everybody at one point. You know, but that's why I look at, like, always like listen to their music.
Those are the greats. Of course. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not getting better than Jay and Nas. Like, I don't care what you think or whoever you think. Like, it's just like it's not gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, personally,
even when we was talking about Pharrell and like, you know, the Virginia movement before we started the podcast, on how like they put the South sound and the East Coast sound and mashed it together and created their own sound. And like Pharrell, pretty much, I feel like he's the godfather of these artists that's coming 100%. Out right now.
Just the fact that he came out and wore a smaller shirt changed the game.
Yeah, because like, everything was baggy and stuff.
Bruh, if you see my clothes from high school, you're going to be like, that's supposed to be your clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was 3X's. Like, he came out and he had like a little skateboard culture or whatever. And he came out with some slimmer jeans, a younger shirt, you know what I'm saying? Some chains or whatever, some Vans or whatever. That shit changed everything because he was successful. He came out, he had some hits, successful, all the kids' minds opened, you know what I'm saying? Like, yo, this is some new shit. We about to start, Lil Wayne started dressing like that. You know, Lil Wayne's like, on fire at that time, you know what I'm saying? Effect, so that was it. Definitely, 100%.
So let's talk about your brand, System of Life.
The System Life. That's
what made you want to come up with that name in the first place? Before we go into it.
Okay, so basically, I'm a firm believer of the way things are not the way things should be. right?
Right.
Ever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I feel like Earth belongs to nobody.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and the system of things, especially in America, is a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I call it create your own. It's like the slogan.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So whatever the system of things are, like fuck that.
Right.
We about to create our own. So I just named it the System Life.
So like
that's why there's like a line through the system.
Yeah, it's hard. So like tell us like who you've been working with so far. You already said Real Hoodie and stuff.
Yeah,
like
Hoodie.
That.
So a lot of local cats, you know, that are up and coming, and I've shot a video for Rocco. Remember Rocco? Yeah, I shot like a mad behind the scenes shit for Ross lately. You know, not to like name drop, but like
so you really know everybody. You just like
I just be low key though, like, you know what I'm saying? Like yeah, you know. But mainly like Jerome Mello is an artist that I work with. Raya Mundo. I don't know if you know about Raya. He's super the Raya World. That's what he goes by. He's crazy. He's like an actor, comedian, artist.
He got music up.
He's got music, crazy music. Writer, plays piano, sings, crazy. And his Instagram channel is like he puts out mad like skits and sketches and shit. And super talented.
Right.
Jerome Mello is an artist from out here. He's actually from Germany, but he moved out here. He went to high school and shit, and he's like pretty dope rapper. Hoodie is another one. I've worked with a lot of different like singers and rappers and shit. You know, I could go on the list. You know what I mean? But you know, just trying to make the most happen. You know what I mean? And elevate every time. You know, I want to eventually get to do bigger and better things. As far as like, I have a lot of ideas in my brain. As far as like films and like art exhibits and just like other shit besides just music. You know what I mean? Like, I love hip-hop, and I love music, and I love visual shit and photography, but I never liked the feeling of you calling me a photographer.
Right. Because I couldn't really even say that. Like, you're a creative. You're a creative director.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I appreciate that, yeah. Like, I understood what Kanye felt when he was like, yo, I'm not a rapper. Like, don't call me I rap.
He's an artist.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's one of the things I agreed on. Was like, yo, but there's nothing wrong with being a photographer. Photography is awesome. You know what I'm saying? I love it. And it's amazing for whoever is a photographer and an amazing photographer. You know what I'm saying? But I just don't want to, if I had to do that for the rest of my life, I wouldn't be happy. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I love basketball. Right. If I could do that for the rest of my life, probably would. You know what I'm saying? But
you play high school ball?
I played high school, yeah.
What school you went to?
North Miami Beach.
In the beach? You a Charger?
Yeah. Where you went to?
I went to Pace. So.
Oh, okay. You know Pace was I had all the recruits.
Yeah. Now they just got back to like one recruit because my nephew, after I graduated, maybe a couple years after that, they ain't really recruiting no more.
Oh, okay.
But now all of a sudden, like they like the principals are alright. You can recruit.
When I was in school, Pace was like high powered.
Yeah,
you feel me?
Yeah, because when I was in school, like the basketball, especially the basketball teams, like they had like noon games every year. So like we'll like hear the tickets, you know what I'm saying? Some of us used to sneak in anyway,
right?
Because we knew people. So.
Right.
But man, people don't realize that high school is like
amazing
years, man.
It is, bro. I regret a lot of my high school, only because like regret is not good, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
But it's like I really feel like I could have took advantage more in high school.
Right.
And I was like, I didn't because a lot of my homeboys was like older and didn't go to school.
Right.
So all I wanted to do was play basketball and dip. Like I never wanted to like be involved with school or like try to do good and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like I did just enough to stay on the team, but I was like, I'm out, like smoking weed and doing stupid shit. You know what I'm saying? Like my homeboys had no ambition at the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like, you know, it's influences you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but you know, I tell people all the time, like sometimes it's just you gotta take a step back and realize, like, all right, I'm ambitious, right? I love my homeboys and them and stuff, like even certain family members, but it comes to a point where I gotta leave that. I can check on them here and there, but I gotta keep moving. You know what I'm saying? So
I agree, 100%.
I went through that too. Like in my, I had close friends, but we have our own group of friends. You know what I'm saying? So I had my own group of friends, and at the time I was like, I'm really the only one that's still in college, like going for like my master's and going for my doctorate, and like I have all these ideas for different businesses and stuff, and doing a podcast, doing all this stuff, and I'm like, they still at the same, they still got the same mentality.
Unfortunately, I got homeboys like that to this day that are older than me.
Yeah, and
that are still talking about some. I'm like, wow.
Yeah, like I still love them.
Yeah, we talk, we vibe, whatever. But it's like in my head, I'm like, damn, it's sad, bro.
Yeah.
Because you ain't grown at all.
At all.
You know what I mean? And one thing I'm an avid, like, I'm like really like adamant about is like learning.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And especially learning from your experiences. Not just your mistakes, but especially your mistakes.
Right.
Learning from your mistakes is major.
Right.
Like, you could really, like, skate through life and get to places that you have never been or never imagined you could be. Right. You know what I'm saying? By learning from, last week I dealt with this chick that was like this. Right. Now I know never to deal with somebody like that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Just for a random example, but definitely it's important to learn, like, from every experience. And you got a lot of people that don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? They're like, that's me. I'm gonna just be me. Fuck it. And you're gonna be 40 and broken. You know what I'm saying? And still staying with your mama.
And then that's when they realize, like, damn, I fucked up now. Like, I always believe, like, it's never too late. But, like, I'm, like, at 40 years old, mid-40s, like, you gotta, like, really, you gotta be on the clock.
Something. And then it's all, and then, yes and no, right?
Yeah.
Because at the same time, every situation, every person, every situation, it's all about what do you want. Right. Forget about what I want or what we think society
wants. Yeah.
Right. What do you want? Right. You know what I'm saying? Do you want kids and a house and that? Do you want a 6-figure job? You want a Beamer? You know what I'm saying? What is it that you want out of life? If you are content and happy with going to work and coming home and staying with your peoples or whatever, that's fine. Ain't nothing wrong with that. You got people who have way less than that and are still happy. You know what I'm saying? But it's just about what you want. If you want more and you don't do shit about it, then it's a problem.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah. Because it's like, don't complain that you in your 40s and stuff. Yeah. But it's like, one, you had the time, but even now, like, you still have time to do so. Don't complain. That's what we talked about earlier.
Yeah,
like,
it's always time. Yeah.
Yeah. People complain and stuff, and it's like, rather complain, just do something. Like,
something.
Whoever thought like I would, be on episode 99 on the podcast, which I never even thought of me doing a podcast 5-7 years ago. I always thought podcasts was boring. You know, when we was in school, I don't know if when you was in school, but when I was in school, podcasting was like just starting, but it wasn't really how it is now.
Nah. It was no cool people making them. That's why.
Like, it was like lectures and shit.
Yeah,
like,
it was boring. Yeah. Nah, it wasn't no podcast when I was in school. We don't even know what the word pod or cast was. Like, straight, it wasn't no iPods. It wasn't no. We had Outcast. That's about it.
Because I remember I was in the 10th grade and I was taking the English class, and my teacher was like, y'all gotta listen to a podcast every week. I ain't listen to it because I feel like, for what? I'd rather just read. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what's up though. Yeah. I wish I read more. To be real with you, I'm a slacker when it comes to reading. But like lately, all I do is listen to podcasts. Yeah. Like I be riding. If ain't no new music I really feel like jamming, like I be listening to podcasts all the time. Yeah, because it's a podcast that's out, and I tell people all the time like that want to create their own podcast. Like we at the beginning, like 5-10 years from now. I remember I was, I think it was CNBC or something like that. I love like money, I love business and stuff like that. That's what's up. And they were saying that soon podcasts, whoever gonna have a podcast, they gonna have a bigger revenue than someone versus on radio. And it's like you starting to see that like with Drink Champs, the trend,
Joe Budden podcast, like.
And besides hip hop culture, there's mad podcasts that are successful.
Yeah, like
Joe Rogan, and all these people. Yeah. Everybody's got one.
I think one's called Entrepreneurs on Fire, something like that. But they all got different deals, you know, with different like networks and stuff, and it's just like